Hey agents, welcome to today's video. So I've been on a few days break from making videos. If you guys look through my video list, I've been going strong, making a video almost every day since about February the 18th or something on the Division 2, just bringing content and trying to serve the community. But I had to take a little bit of a break, so that's why you have not heard from me in the past few days. Also, I've been, looking at some aspects of discussion within the community that I want to speak about, and just a few things that are also outside the community that I would like to also kind of point our audience to, other games, other issues. But today what's on the table is pretty much the possibility and the necessity, I think, for a tank meta in the Division 2, because at this point we've actually seen, and at this point we've not seen everything yet. The PTS is still going on. I've kind of kept a low profile, just watching and studying. I've been looking through talents. I've been looking at videos, trying to see if there's anyone that can come up with a tank build. I'm limited on my time. I've tried some experiments. I've tried things like looking at Unbreakable and seeing how that's actually going to work. But so far, it seems like the only thing that we're coming up with right now as members of the community is damage mitigation and effective damage mitigation, a good number of healer builds, a good number of healing attributes. And you're going to see on the new gear attributes, you're seeing things like ammo or armor repair, all that stuff that actually replaces your armor, or in a sense I call it damage mitigation. But if we actually want to be very honest about this, it's kind of a bummer that armor cannot really do its job. If you stack up a whole bunch of armor, it's kind of a bummer that you cannot mitigate or eat a whole bunch of damage that's fitting to somebody who should have a lot of armor. So perhaps armor is just some kind of arbitrary value that we do not really understand how it works compared to the damage that the NPCs deal, or we're in a place where the community is needing a tank specialization. Now, the systems in place right now do not do the job of a tank, and many people have tried to build tank builds, but you cannot necessarily build the kind of tank build that will take enemy damage for a team of 4 people from maybe a heroic mission, compared to the Division 1, where you can go in with your 6-piece D3 classified and you can eat a bunch of damage and continue to mitigate as your shield restores its health. It's not a regular ballistic shield. It's a sci-fi high-tech ballistic shield that's using the enemy damage to give your team a buff, a tank buff as well, not just a regular buff, but a buff for you as well. And also the shield can be replenished with different perks that you can activate. So the D3 set is something that Massive put in the game after a while. Patch 1.3 was there, and a lot of people were like, well, we're trying to run a shield, but we can't get anything out of it. The enemies are destroying the shield really fast. It's not lasting long enough. What do we need to do? And so some people suggested that we get a shield build that allowed for the user to be able to use an automatic weapon, not just a shield build that could let you use just a pistol, but a shield build that can allow you to use an automatic weapon. Now, right now we do have a shield. We have those modifiers that can allow you to use an automatic weapon, but we don't have any way for the shield to be super strong. And I know there is a brand set that does have a shield buff attached to it. I think it's Richter and Kaiser that gives you some shield skill power, but not other than that, it's not really going to help you as an individual. Maybe for a solo mission, you can run a solo mission, but for a team, if you want to play tank in a team, you cannot run any of those builds to take the amount of enemy damage that's going to be dealt to you, especially if you're going to run like heroic, where there are going to be some elites or there's going to be like a heavy gunner. You can't take that kind of damage, not that I know of anyways. There might be somebody who has some kind of build, but we have not seen it. So this is where I think it's going to be more important that we get a tank specialization, not just tank or tanky attributes, but a specialization dedicated towards giving those perks. Now, if you look at the way the other specializations are designed, they're all designed with a focus around a skill that you can use. In the case of the sharpshooter, it's the drone. In the case of the demolitionist, it's your turret. And in the case of your survivalist, it's one of your extra seeker mines. They give you a seeker mine that kind of helps for healing. Well, I think there needs to be another specialization that allows for you to be able to use your shield and give you those attributes of being tanky. So as you're unlocking the perks within this tree, you're able to provide damage mitigation for your team just being there, and at the same time you're able to pull out your shield and tank huge amounts of damage. In fact, I think one of the biggest damage factors right now are those heavies, those big tanks, NPCs that run around, that are elites, that wear a big old armor plate around their body with a big hammer. I want to see a shield build that can actually mitigate that damage multiple times, so they can whack you with that hammer like 5, 6, 7 times and nothing happens to you, while your team can focus on them and take them down. It's just the same way you can run with the D3. You can have one D3 and run a heroic or legendary mission in the Division 1, and that shield guy will be able to take a lot of damage from even the toughest NPCs. And I think some of the toughest NPCs are in Napalm Production Site. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, I'm speaking the Division 1 right now. Napalm Production Site is a very well designed Division mission. Soundtrack, everything is just amazing. Enemy wave spawns are kind of fun to play. It's a pretty nice mission that the developers put in the first game, and there are 4 bosses at the end, 4 elite LMB legendary bosses at the end, and if you have a shield build, you can take a lot of damage from them. And so seeing that, I think that archetype needs to be replicated in the Division 2, and not only just replicated because our brand sets right now are not necessarily going to be able to do it, and it's nice that way, that they separate the brand sets or limit the brand sets this way, and then let the specialization come in and then take that place. The only downside though, and I have to point this out, is armor. So if we have something like that, then what use is armor? What use is stacking 3 however many 100,000 armor points on your gear? And that gets to beg the question that, you know, we probably don't understand how this armor thing works as it relates to the damage that the NPCs are dealing to us, or Massive is probably not wanting to help us understand and just want the NPCs to continue to deal significantly, or I'll say exponentially, more damage than our armor can ever take. Or each time we have more armor, the enemy damage scales, I guess, because if you're still getting your armor destroyed as fast as another guy that's not getting too much armor in a sense, then I think the enemy damage is probably scaled in a crazy obscure way. And so armor may just be a weird factor in PvE. Now in PvP, armor does play a role, and I guess this is where the difficulty of balancing both of them are. But I don't want to get too much in that conversation. That gets really technical when we start to open Pandora's box over there. But I want to keep the central point, and I want you guys to respond in the comment section. So do we need a tank specialization? I think we do, and I think one might be coming in the update, because if you look very well in the teaser, and I've mentioned this in another video, you have a heavy gunner, and I think this heavy gunner is somebody that's going to be exposed for a while using this specialization weapon. So probably one of his perks is probably going to be able to take a lot of damage, and I think probably his skill might be the shield. I might be wrong, but this is something that I feel strongly that we're going to be seeing in the game pretty soon. And if we're not going to be seeing it in the game pretty soon, then I think the developers, you know, need to take a look at it and see how interesting it will be down the road to add a new play style and a new way to play for everybody. So that's all I have for today. Thank you guys very much for your time and audience, for your patience. You guys are still watching the videos and still commenting, and we're seeing you people join the community. And if you like the content, you know, don't hesitate to say you like it. You can click the like button. If you want to subscribe, don't hesitate to subscribe as well. If you dislike the content, you can put a thumbs down. It's fine. And if you have something that you want to ask a question about, leave a comment in the comment section, man. Thank you all so much, and I guess I'll see you in the next one. Peace.